Okay, thank you very much for joining us again. And for those of you, Akaranagu this morning.
You see that Akaranagu because the way you mentioned it.
Thank you. Now, we have entered into our discussion segment, and the first thing to look at is clean and healthy Anambra. And the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Honorable Architect Mike Okonkwo, has joined us this morning to do justice to that. We'd like to welcome you to our studios, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go on, let's quickly take a look at this news story on environment.
Inspection, which kicked off at Park Road, Government Reserve Area, GRA, Onitsha, witnessed a good turnout of men of Nigerian Army and corps members serving in Onitsha North Council area, who were already desilting drainage channels in the area. Addressing the volunteers, Architect Okonkwo, who restated the importance of reading water channel of death and the excavated waste effectively disposed of.
We'll make sure that the supplies are complete. We'll make sure that the places are clean. Being that we're environment, do we have waste bins? Do we have them properly lined with liners? Do we have the toilets?
The leader of the combined work group at the place and commanding officer, 14th Field Engineering Regiment, Onitsha, Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Moha, spoke on the essence of a clean environment, noting that his unit was poised to partnering the state government in the policies that breed development.
But rather than waiting to respond, we decided that we do something as a proactive measure. Before we start responding. So these are some of the proactive activities.
The commissioner and his entourage also made a trip to Iweka Road and Main Market roundabout, where inappropriately pasted posters and stickers were removed. At the Nkwere Zukala dump site, where the waste monitoring was rounded up, it was observed that the waste carriage vehicles had started heaping waste at the wrong place, a situation the commissioner described as unacceptable. Also in the entourage is the senior special assistant to the governor on environment, Mr. Stanley Nkwoka, who made a point about cultivating a proper waste management method that meets up with the dream standards of the present administration.
Spirit of keep Anambra State clean, which His Excellency is championing. That's why we are here today to commiserate with the Onitsha people, for them to to learn and abide by the spirit of cleanliness. We are monitoring the opening of drainages in Onitsha.
Okay, I would like to welcome you back. Haven't seen that video. As we take up with the Honorable Commissioner, and you very much know that they say that the healthy environment breeds healthy people. And the environment you abuse today will take its revenge on you tomorrow. Okay, the last time you were here, Honorable Commissioner, you told us that the governor has given you a mandate to give Anambra State a first lift. And no doubt, that's exactly what you are doing now. I would personally like to congratulate you on the edifice that you erected at the DMGS roundabout.
That is
at
so
Onitsha.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, it's you beautified it. If you're coming there for the first time,
honestly,
you find out
you wouldn't
that,
know. But before we get
changed.
to that, the magic we did there, let's first of all assess the Anambra environment, sanitation-wise. How are we doing so far?
Okay, thank you. Well, by my assessment, in spite of the fact that we had relentlessly pursued this mandate of clean and healthy Anambra, we still have a lot of work to do. The fact that it has been raining had actually brought its own challenge. In fact, not just raining, it had constantly been raining. But to answer your question, we've done well, but we have much more to do.
Okay. From the video we watched, there is a collaboration between the Army, the corps members, and other individuals to do that desilting. What informed the decision to get it done that way?
Well, I'm actually happy that the Army notified me that they wanted to partner with Anambra State government through the Ministry of Environment under what is called civil-military relations to contribute, in fact, to heed to the call that I've always made, echoing what His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano had always said, is for everybody to put hands on deck so we can make our environment, which is Anambra State, clean and healthy. So the Army wanted to lend a hand, and I welcomed it, and that's what you saw, and it was very beautiful. I used this opportunity to, of course, thank Lieutenant Colonel Momo, who led the Army Corps, and then the NYAC people who are attached to that division.
So is that going to be a continuous exercise, or just for that day?
It's in that His Excellency calls for this culture of sustainability. It is going to be an ongoing exercise, not necessarily by the Army, but by partnership or in partnership with other segments of the society. I'll call on the churches very soon. I've been calling on the churches. I've been calling on schools, private individuals, different trade organizations to join us, because this thing is a thing of ours.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to find out from you, because in a flood na 80 like I go talk about 4 states. We want to find out how your ministry is containing the rampaging flood in the state.
Okay, so flooding is a natural disaster, as we all know. The weather meteorological agencies have tried to predict. They do predict. Sometimes they miss the mark, sometimes they don't. But we don't rely on them missing the mark. We act as if it's coming. We act as if it's definite. In fact, if you had noticed, Niger State and Nasarawa, I believe, or Nasarawa State, had actually gone through their own calamity resulting from this disaster. Anambra State has always, this year at least, been cited as one of the states that would be hard hit by flooding. We're seeing the effects of it already. As you know, a lot of roads have washed out, a lot of erosion occurring. Communities have started to be flooded in. Yesterday, there was a state of emergency declared in Anambra East, where His Excellency, in fact, while we were having a meeting of the different agencies supporting SEMA and representatives from NEMA, who are always dealing with these sort of issues, and of course, well, NEMA is National Emergency Services, and then SEMA is State Emergency Agency. So, and then of course, all this is being done through the Ministry of Environment under, and then the state being, His Excellency, the Governor is the chairman of all of this. We were having a meeting yesterday going through our plans on flood preparedness when this emergency call was made, and of course, as usual, His Excellency jumped into action and ordered the Navy, the Army, and all the security agencies to, pull together and respond to this. So that is something that happens on the fly. But to talk about the preparedness, 21 holding centers have been identified throughout. The list, I wish I had brought it so that you will flash it on the screen. But I will bring that so you can show it later. Places where people can actually go. It's a high ground, the affected neighborhoods where people can actually.
What is the response like? Are they coming? Are they coming to the camp?
Well, actually, we've had to activate 2 of them already. Yes, people are coming. I mean, people want to save their lives. His Excellency even said yesterday that we may have to cajole, not necessarily force, we'll cajole people to save themselves, save their lives and property, and then get to these centers. But what I was going to say is that the 21 centers have been checked for readiness, meaning having facilities that support crowd, facilities that support individuals, because in a crowd you must be an individual, right? So sanitation provisions, health provisions, because there will be medical attaches that would have a doctor and nurses in each of these holding centers. We make sure that there's water. His Excellency always makes sure that these places have running water through boreholes. And he had also ordered yesterday that bottled water and sachet water be delivered there will be people catering for this. In fact, His Excellency keeps mentioning, make sure that these people are comfortable. And that's the thing with him. So we had made sure that the centers are ready. It's now left for the people to heed the warning. You cannot play with flood. Again, like the governor was telling us yesterday, because he had experienced this. I think he said in the 60s when he was also flooded in and he found himself on top of the roof, right? So he knows how it is. So he's saying that you could actually be in your house. Flood has no noise. You could be sleeping and it creeps up on you. So, yeah, so be vigilant. That's all.
Yes. Before we continue, let's hear voices from the streets.
Saying goes that cleanliness is next to godliness. I said cleanliness breeds good health. But it seems that we don't have the culture here, culture of cleanliness. But I think it's due to our laziness. Cleanliness doesn't belong to the Western world alone. We should develop that habit of cleanliness. Mostly we don't do things that are environmentally friendly. The way we do our own things, leave wastewater to litter the roads, our environments. Then sweepings from compounds, from our houses, not packed into the dustbin. We leave them free to litter the streets. And microorganisms breed in such places, refuse dumps everywhere. My advice is that people should imbibe it, the culture of cleanliness.
After God, the next thing is your environment. Cleanliness of the place is what is actually needed. Without this, I don't think we will be here. My advice is that I think if you watch world over, cholera is everywhere, diarrhea is everywhere. It's because of lack of cleanliness. So for us to be healthy, for us to be fit to do whatever you want to do today, there's need that every one of us must strive to be neat.
Cleanliness is very, very important from many perspectives. One, from a health perspective, because we know that if you are not clean, if you don't maintain cleanliness, you are bound to suffer.
All right, you're welcome back. Welcome back. Now, Honorable Commissioner, you were saying something before they come on us.
Yes, well, I was talking about, you did ask how ready the state is, and I am telling you that the ready is as ready as we can be in this kind of situation, extremely so. In these riverine areas, I mean, people think they know the areas when they navigate, even by boat, but when it floods, you don't know anywhere. So the Navy is on hand to help in navigating people when things happen in rescue missions. There are about 22 water transportation vehicles like speedboats and ambulances that have been provided by His Excellency, and they are ready to go. Yesterday, their locations were identified, and Navy officers dispersed to manage those things. And then, of course, life jackets for the people. We will there is early warning system we're going to use to be announcing where people can get these things in case they get trapped. Yes.
Okay. I want to take a little bit back to the video we watched on the silting you did at Onitsha.
Yeah.
I noticed that you were removing posters at the roundabout there.
Yeah.
And then we know that election is around the corner. Everybody wants to paste their posters. Is it part of your ministry's mandate to let everybody know that yes, posters are not to be placed on any other?
Well, great question. Yes, when you talked about it in the beginning, you had mentioned the DMJ's roundup, but I know you will talk about that later. I wanted to let it be known that yes, environment encompasses all of that. You talk about cleanliness, healthiness, and beautification of the whole environment. These roundabouts are things of, the edifices that are supposed to be both directional. So they have art quality and they have functionality. So commodity and delight, as we say. So indiscriminate pasting of posters. It's not allowed. Yes, there will be elections and people have to get their messages out. But we ask people to actually meet with ANSA, which is Anambra State signage agency, to determine the proper places to put these things. If you put them on the roundabouts and places that you're not supposed to, like the flyovers, we will remove them.
Okay. And then I know sometime in the past you told me that His Excellency has also given you a mandate to beautify Anambra Broadcasting Service. So when is that starting?
I can't believe you're asking when it's starting, when you already see that your walls are being renovated. In fact, as I was coming in from the temporary. That's how it starts. I am a member of the Anambra State Tenders Board, and I do know that, in fact, you should thank His Excellency. He has been doing a lot for ABS. We have approval for the beautification, which includes your landscaping. You have an approval for your gatehouse, the gate itself, the walling itself. But the big kahuna that you have now gotten approval for also is ABS corporate building, which is about 4 stories high.
Wow.
And all this about His Excellency. So, remember he said he wants ABS to be the CNN of Africa. And you are well on your way. I'm sitting in a digital studio, compliments of His Excellency. So, beautification has started and it's going on.
I see. I would like to thank you personally because we are living for one time. Thank you. Architect Mike Okonkwo, Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Anambra State. God bless you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I'm making us happy anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, we must go to be able to accommodate other discussion segment that will be coming. Now, please
stay with us.